Hi. So today we are going to see something new, something which every student goes through. So my name is Purnima, Dr. Purnima. I am from Time, and today we are going to discuss something, and that something is which every one of you go through in your life: exams. The primary problem with exams is the moment I say the word exam, a lot of my students come and say, "Ma'am, my heart is beating really fast. My breath goes like so fast that I don't know what is happening around me." And even though I have prepared really well, when I go to the exam, I black out. I blank out. I'm like, it always puzzled me. I'm like, the toppers, everybody has come and told me this. And when I spoke with them, a couple of things came up. One of the first things is their idea of exam. So today, I'm going to discuss three things with respect to this exam blankout. First is your perception of the exam itself. Second, what can be done to help with that exam blankout, which is your preparation. And third, and the most important thing, de-stressing. Usually, if I ask the students what is the purpose of an exam, they end up saying, "Ma'am, to get a good job or to achieve our dreams." But when they actually write the exam, they're like, "Oh my God, why do we have so many exams? I wish we could just do away with the exams." Perhaps if you could change your perception of the exams to maybe a way of expressing your knowledge to the examiner, or perhaps if you could think of it like a tool to achieve your goal. For all you know, you want to become a computer engineer, or you could become a doctor, a lawyer, a footballer. But each of them have a certain stages before which you could get there. Think of it this way. If I tell you to play the last level of your PUBG directly without going to the initial stages, would you enjoy the game? No, right? Or if I ask you to play the final level of Counter-Strike without going through your initial levels, would you like it? No. Think of the exams as a step one closer to your goal. Perhaps, yes, you could ask me, what is the purpose of doing schooling if I want to become a footballer? Let me give you another side to it, wherein, yes, you play football until the age of 40. After that, what do you want to do? You want to sit at home? Want to get bored? What you're learning now forms the base for you in the future. Perhaps you could think about it that way. Or the third way you could think about exam is how you're developing yourself. I'm sure a lot of you, before you sit down to study, you actually decide in your mind how many subjects or how am I going to go about the topics, which topics I can omit, which topics I need more research on. What you're doing there is actually developing skills of research, planning, and actually organizing. And if you could change your idea of exam to each of these three, your exam won't seem like a task. Neither will it seem very scary. Think about it. The second important thing which can help with your blank out is your preparation. A lot of students, when I ask them how they study, they said, "Ma'am, we go through the paper, we go through the notes, we go through everything." I ask them, do you actually put it down on paper? Do you actually write what you have learned? One of the first things scientifically proven also is that when you write, you're actually helping your brain to remember things in a much better and effective way. Think about it this way. All of you have traveled all your life, right? You pack your own suitcase. When you're packing your own suitcase, do you just dump all your clothes inside the suitcase? No, right? You actually fold them, you arrange them, you even arrange them day-wise, correct? Think of your brain like a suitcase. You cannot expect your brain to take in all the information just because you're throwing it at it. You need to train it as to how you want the information to be retained. And that is where this comes into play, your preparation. Your preparation is about how you're giving the information to your brain. You cannot expect your brain to remember that in this textbook, in this page, on the right hand side, at this corner, this diagram is there. When you go for the exam, all you see is just a jumble of words and a very vague outline of the diagram. You have absolutely no idea as to what exactly is there in that. Why not change the way you prepare? Make mind maps wherein you can actually map out, like in the form of flow charts, to understand how that information can be stored in your brain. Or you can go for audio visual aids wherein you try to listen. Perhaps you're a person who doesn't want to write, but you can retain information better if you listen and you see. But understand, my dear students, that you do need to write because you're actually exercising your mind through this. And the most important thing which most students don't do is self-testing. The very fact that they've completed a chapter gives them a sense of achievement that, yes, I've finished one more chapter out of the 15. But have you ever thought how, if in that one chapter, I'm able to answer all the questions or not? Have I really done justice to that entire chapter? Why not self-test yourself and see? It's okay if you get them wrong. Out of a 10 sums in math, if you have got 3 sums right, that is an achievement. Perhaps when you self-test yourself the second time after you revise, you're going to go and get maybe 6 out of the 10 correct. Don't be afraid to self-test. Nobody is going to judge you for it. You would feel judged when in the final exam, you get a certain mark which is much less than what you had hoped for. Instead, you self-test and you manage to get whatever the desired number that you wanted while you're learning itself. Won't that give you a better confidence? And the last important thing in your preparation is also your time management. Students magically seem to think that in the exam, when they have 3 hours, they'll be able to complete the paper. But have they actually tried to solve the paper for the 3 hours to see if they're completing it? No. They think that they would be able to do it. I have had students who told me that, ma'am, prelim exam is just we can just let it be. We can actually manage completing the paper for 3 hours in the board exam. We will see then. Or we will see when it comes. Understand, none of this will work unless you have practiced it beforehand. And very importantly, the best way to manage your time is to practice it at home. Or if you have a group of friends, why not sit with those same group of friends and practice the paper together and see how you're timing yourself. And that will be the best way you can learn to manage your time. During this process of preparation, if you need certain tips as to how we can sit for a long time to study, in the description of this video, there's another video which helps you to understand how you can concentrate better within a short period of time. So do have a look at that. And the last and the most important thing which helps with your exam blankout is de-stressing. One of the primary reasons why the students, even though they are very well prepared, they get stressed out during the exam is they fear that they have not actually completed their learning or they have not done enough. Have faith in your learning. Have faith in your preparation. You are your biggest motivator that you can think of at any point in time. And the simpler ways to de-stress are actually not your video games, your TV, or even talking with your friends. During the exam time, when you talk with your friends and you discuss, okay, fine, I have finished this much is left, this much I have to do, oh my God, you only end up going down the lane. You don't actually help yourself in any way. Instead, try doing this. Do some stretching exercise. A lot of students have told me, ma'am, during the exam time, we don't get time to play because all of them are busy studying. Okay, why not go for stretching exercises? Why not go for jogging? Why not go for long walks? This is an excellent way. But when you're doing these exercises, please make sure that your entire focus is on that exercise at that time. It should not be wavering towards how much I have to complete still, how much I have learned, and all of that. When you're doing a certain task, be with that task. Try to focus only on that. Which comes to the next one, which is your deep breathing. Perhaps you are not a person who likes to stretch, jog, or walk. In your house, in your room, in your place, go for deep breathing exercises. The deep breathing exercises can be anything like you take a deep breath in, hold it for a few seconds, then you take a deep breath out. And you repeat the same cycle for about 5 to 10 times. Yes, your thoughts will waver. Yes, you will hear a lot of noises. But you have to think of your brain like a muscle. Unless you constantly keep practicing it, it will not learn to take this. So, deep breathing exercise is one thing which you can practice in the place that you're sitting at. To help with how you can actually deal with the exam anxiety the day before your exam, in the description, there is also a visualization audio which speaks about how you can prepare yourself mentally before you go for the exam. To actually visualize that you have done your exam well and you have done everything possible during the exam to give in your best. So please do listen to it. It will definitely help you. And the last one is your positive and realistic thoughts. A lot of students, before they go for the exam, they already make a decision. I'm bad at math. I'm bad at science. I will fail. I am not done well before. I am not going to pass. When you have already told yourself these thoughts and you're trying to still prepare, your mind is only going to go back to these thoughts. Instead, try to change your thought process. Instead, you tell yourself, okay, yes, I'm weak in math, but I have done my best. I have practiced all the sums which my teachers have told me. I have practiced all my sums which are relevant for the examination, and I will do my best. I am not going to think about whether I'm going to get this much number or that much number in my final exam. I'm not going to fortune tell. Instead, I will focus on what I can do the best at that current moment, and then I will go ahead. So, every time you have a negative thought, try to make it as a positive thought. So, the positive and realistic thoughts. So, to sum up, your exam blankout or your blackout as you experience can be taken care of if you can change your perception, prepare yourself well, and learn to de-stress when you feel stressed.